The most improved team of the season against the undefeated side. Only undefeated. Do it. But yes, Erin's joining us tonight, Hills Heat catcher, and very impressed with you, young lady, with your resume to this point. You've been a state rep throughout all the age groups, including schoolgirls. It does count, so well done to you and your team for winning national championships. Tonight we're calling the action. It's second versus third, the Rebels versus the Falcons. And don't worry, guys, I will let Erin talk soon enough.
Yeah. Should be a good game.
Well, Kylie, you've kept your eye on the teams so far this season as well. So we'll get you to touch on a couple of your key players in a moment. That one inside for Tonkin.
I think it's pretty obvious to say that Jade is obviously one of those players in the middle. The pitcher is, we're going to be biased here, one of the most important positions on the field. Without one, we don't have a game. So Jade will need to put a good performance here tonight, get on top early and try and negate these batters that Sturt have in their lineup.
Now, you're sitting with two catchers tonight, Kylie.
Yes.
So, you know, your bias doesn't really get too many...
Okay, fair enough.
Not too many brownie points, yeah.
Can't do much without a catcher, I agree. Sarah Tonkin's at the plate at the moment.
And takes herself a walk. That one was up and out of the zone. Very unlike Jade Peterson early on in this game. Don't worry, she'll be back. She's been the strikeout queen of the Premier League for so many years now. Never has too many problems getting into triple figures with strikeouts. Erin, do you have trouble facing Jade when you come up against her?
Oh, definitely. I think you can never really, I guess, think that you're going to get a good hit off of any pitcher, really. I think it's always a struggle in the batting box, and you can never really take a pitcher lightly. But definitely Jade Peterson is just a force to be reckoned with in the circle. So going up to bat, you're definitely hoping to do your best, make some contact.
Sarah Tonkin took off on the pitch. Jessie Keach batting two, takes the off again. Shepherd throws over, but Tonkin slides in safely. So a base on balls for the...
Stayed there.
And the first out for the Rebels. Now, the Rebels have got a good run differential, and that's because their two losses for the season have been by 1 and 2 runs, so a cumulative total of 3.
Top of a game here. Sturt just give you no chances. They're going to take every opportunity they can get.
Yeah, definitely. They're a really great batting side.
High for a ball. I forgot my impressive offensive side, aren't they?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Now, the key to their team is obviously defensively they've been pretty sound as well. They've been pitching with a...
Second base, we've got Rachel Tonkin. Third base, we've got Jessie Keach. Shortstop, we've got Belle White. Left field is Ashlyn Mensforth. Centre field is Maddie Cameron. And right field is Olivia Durr.
Out with their best stuff and keep that runs down to nil for Glenelg.
Gemma Cochran's leading things off for the Rebels, and she's had a flying start to the season. That one dips in there for a called strike. Thought it might have started high a little bit, but dipped into the zone.
Sarah obviously helps there, being quite, I'll say, short, without saying a nicer word, but she gets very low, which gives the umpire a really good view of where the ball's coming, which does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's also really good having that leadership behind the plate. I don't think anyone can deny that Sarah Tonkin is a pretty phenomenal catcher, so That's very good for Sturt.
And if there's anyone wondering at home, you're having any trouble with your service tonight, we are hot spotting. It is all Optus's fault, and we stick by our story. So as the baseball enters the field of play, so just anyone who is watching, please bear with us. We're doing the best to bring you the broadcast. We're doing a recording so you can watch it later as well. So back to the action, Gemma Cochran. And she goes down swinging on a great change of pace from Zali Adams.
Yep, beautiful pitch there. Good height, good difference in her pace. Sarah got across there to make sure it was going to the outside of the plate. Very good pitch.
Really hard to pick as well.
Yep.
Going first pitch and a great diving catch to the backhand side from Belinda White. Robs Sydney Horton of a single.
Oh, what do you say?
Just amazing.
Just typical Belle White, giving it her absolute all.
CMAX replay, Horton smashed it, but Belinda White read it very well off the bat. Full extension to her right.
Great softball.
And just comes up as cool as you like.
Like nothing happened.
Like it was a normal play. Courtney Shepherd hitting 3 for the Rebels.
It's a great pitch.
Tell us what you like about it, Erin. You can be a fan. It's okay to be a fan, but tell us what you like about it.
It hit the outside really nicely. It's not really putting it right in there. It's just grazing the edge, makes it really hard for a batter to hit.
Well, that is a great pitch. 2-1 the count. I'm only being serious.
It's okay. All right. I'll protect you.
Thanks, Kylie.
Adams just lifts up the gears a notch and fires that one in, but Shepherd good enough to at least foul it off. Looking sharp already, the Falcons.
So, what do you think? Do we go change up again at 2-2?
Seeing as she came early on, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do a change-up, but you could also go high on her, see if she's going to swing at it. She's been pitching some good high pitches. Yeah, there you go. There's a change-up.
On the check.
Oh.
Oh, she goes to pick it up in fair territory. Wasn't sure if it was going to be rolling in or out, so Courtney Shepherd's going to get an infield single for that. Let's have a look at the CMAX replay.
I think there was a little bit of miscommunication between Zali and Riley there. Probably.
That's that second bounce.
Yeah, I think it skid. Yeah.
The spin stopped. So what looked like off the first bounce that it was going to spin out, the second bounce it just stopped and stayed into play. So catcher speed up. We'll see Sydney Horton come on to run for Courtney Shepherd. Sasha Penglace batting for. Great pitch on the outside. Curveball, Erin.
Oh, yeah, a little curveball. Good to get a first pitch strike.
Change of pace and Tonkin up and ready to fire that.
Does make your job a little bit easier if we actually put the ball where you want it the first pitch, doesn't it?
Just a little bit. Makes it easier to work the ball around, hit some edges a little bit more, but yeah, first pitch strikes are always handy.
You really need to have that good understanding between your pitcher and catcher to be able to trust, yes, that's the right call on that batter in that situation.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little bit of coaching going on, and that is because Kylie's actually Erin's assistant coach in the state under-18s.
Great shot.
Smashes that one about chest height. She drives it to centre field, and Cameron makes no mistake. So the Rebels, they look like they were hitting the ball very well, but right up to the task tonight is the Sturt Falcons. So let's have a look at the CMAX replay, and Cameron actually takes it below belt height, so they're always pretty difficult to take. And that's the third out, denying the Rebels in the first. Well, Kylie, we got Erin to do the Sturt defence. You can take us through the Glenelg defence.
Thanks, Jay. Jade Peterson's obviously pitching in the middle. Courtney Shepherd is behind the plate. Bron Sawyer's at first. Tate Nicholson is at second, Sophie Kinnear is at short, Gemma Cochrane is at third, Georgia Bevans at left field, Sydney Horton's down at centre field, and Sasha Pengage is at right field.
Now, both pitchers starting off the game with a strikeout apiece. And as you'd expect, a couple of the better pitchers in the league, that both their teams sitting 2 and 3 at the moment. Sturt outscoring their opposition 8-2 on average. And that included their last game. They beat the top-placed Port Adelaide 6-1. And so that pitching by committee is definitely helping the Falcons' cause, whereas first pitch is in there for a called strike. This is Rachel Tonkin leading off the second inning, hitting in the 6th spot for the Falcons. On the flip side, Kylie, you've got Peterson and the newly, am I allowed to say it? It's on social media, the newly engaged Johanna Grauer. They're going game for game, basically.
Absolutely, and congratulations to you. That's fantastic news. Wish them all the very best. Yes, so Glenelg obviously being very boosted by her presence in the team. I think any team would be lucky to have her. So it also just takes a bit of pressure off Jade. And, the team as a whole would feel a lot more confident going out there.
Peterson's second strikeout. There's Rachel Tonkin on screen, beaten by a rise ball, and brings to the plate the pitcher, Zali Adams. Pitcher on pitcher battle.
Oh.
Change up first pitch. And Peterson saying, I'm still the master. I can do anything you can.
It's still a good pitch from Jade there. Nothing wrong with that one. Little low.
Swing and a miss this time. And Peterson going around again this year with the Stars, the Everton women's team. They'll be playing national championships in Canberra in the second week of January. When's your tournament, Aaron? I'll get you after this pitch.
Yeah, our tournament's in January as well. We're heading off to Perth, so it should be pretty interesting. Should be a good tournament. A great group of girls out there, so yeah, it's just exciting to play with them.
Have you played at Mirrabooka before?
I think I've played at Mirrabooka pretty much every time I've gone away to a Nationals other than under 16. So, love the place. It's a good diamond. Reminds me a lot of home, so yeah.
Peterson goes upstairs again, had a little bit of extra on it as well. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 for the game. And Peterson looks settled after that early run driven in from Belinda White. This is Ashlyn Mensforth. Is she going to be one of your teammates?
She will be,
a nod from Kylie.
Big nod from Kylie, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic batter, for a young player as well. She can see the ball really well. Really good first baseman, and also especially when we went to schoolgirls, she was a pretty pivotal outfielder for us and took the winning catch for us to win the game. So, pretty good player.
Great raps. And well said as well, Erin. You're just slotting in nicely.
Oh, try my hardest.
Got herself into a good pitch count now, 3-0. She can afford to maybe have a look at one, or what's the new generation like? Are they green lighting 3-0 now with 2 out, or are you...
I think we wait on it. If I got 3-0, I'm usually giving away my secrets, but I'll probably wait on it and just try and see a pitch, just to make sure that I kind of know where the strike zone is.
Well, the youngster gets a 4-ball walk, and Sturt have another runner on base, bringing up Ollie Durham.
Yep.
Another young gun of the competition. Great to see her getting some regular starts for the Falcons.
Another member of the under-18 team as well.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal pitcher for her age as well. She can throw a ball.
She playing both 16s and 18s?
She is, yeah.
She'll have a heavy workload in January then.
Yes.
Swing and a miss this time, and Courtney Shepherd has a look down the first baseline just to keep the runner honest. Ollie Durham got some mail on her from the sprint specialist. Kathy Lambert says that she has got speed to burn, but also out of the Aussie camp, she was the quickest pitcher in her age group.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her and another pitcher called Jada were the ones to reach 100 kilometres an hour, and they were the only two.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty good.
Even amongst pitchers slightly older than her as well.
Yeah, she's punching above her age, that's for sure.
Great pitching from Peterson. She strikes out the side, only blemish a base on balls. So pretty even out there, besides a Belinda White double. And we'll go into the bottom of the second inning, and Sturt are leading 1 run to nil. The third team out on the diamond tonight, played umpire Damien McCauley, first base Acacia Van Marley, and third base Dave Borovnik. And our team to our left, the ladies colouring in the circles tonight, we've got Kay Bendel and Marcy Trzynski. So all-star cast with us tonight. Erin Adams-McDonald joining us for the first time, and the multiple premiership player, the 2-time Cath Corral medalist, and state rep extraordinaire Kylie Weatherstone on the mic. There was another game on tonight, Seacombe versus Port Adelaide.
I think I'd give you the all-star more than me, Kylie.
Yeah, but this was a long time ago. This
Yeah.
is a long time ago.
Own it, own it.
We got a 4-1 ball game over on Diamond 2. And Port Adelaide just look like they've got a slight advantage at the moment, and I'm not on Optus, but it's taking me forever, Brandon, for this to come up. I'm getting a shake of the head from producer Brandon, not happy with Optus tonight, but they're still here. Spacequake Sport getting the job done. So thanks to our team there. 2 hits to Jess Maslin, both doubles.
I
And
did see the
Montana
first.
Edwards
Yeah,
has 2 RBIs too.
I saw the first hit from Jess. Massive hit over left field. Bianca Pash had to go a fair run to get it. It was a double, and that's what actually scored their first run.
Classic J-Maz.
Yes.
For Seacombe, their run came from the top of the order. Regan Diaz got a single, got a hit. She's pretty quick around the bases.
She's been a great asset to the team, absolutely. Can pitch, bat, run, do everything. So, yes, it's just been fantastic to have her.
RBI coming from Bree Lint. So the Americans combining. I'm keen to see the Swedish players make a debut.
Yes, Emily and Lara, they're actually both playing tonight. Emily's at first, Lara's at centre field. So we need to see how they go. They are playing for B grade for me at the moment as well, and both doing a fantastic job. Oof. Georgia thought that one was going to be a ball.
The Premier League that you look up to, the catches.
I think it's a bit weird.
Great catch from Tonkin.
Yeah, fantastic catch. I think it's a bit weird because I would have probably thought that a lot of my idols when I was first kind of starting out was definitely like Maddie Cameron. She was my first coach, that type of thing. My stepsister was my first coach, Sally Pope. So little shout out to her. But it's a bit weird because now I feel like I'm playing with a lot of my idols that I used to look up to. So it's a bit of a surreal moment. So yeah.
Sally play at Glenelg?
Sally did. She started in Glenelg and then moved to Sturt. So that's how I started out. I like to think that I started my softball career as a bat girl. So then I moved to being an actual player.
Peterson pulls this one, a great take from Jessie Keach at third base. She just sharked it across, didn't she? And casually just tossed it over to first base for the second out. So great defensive play there from the Falcons. They're really on tonight. CMAX replay.
Fantastic pickup.
She kept really low on that, kept her glove low.
Yeah.
Got it on the hop.
Be taking notes for state.
Another player that tried a couple of seasons over in the US college system. She made the Australian under-18 team to play the World Cup in Peru, only denied by COVID and the tournament not going ahead, along with Cara Schulz, Millie Fidge, who am I forgetting? I'll get in trouble for forgetting someone. This is Tate Nicholson, who grounds out back to the pitcher, Zali Adams, and as quick as you can say it, a walk, lead-off walk from Georgia Bevan, a good at-bat, but then pretty quickly Kinnear, Peterson and Nicholson all retired. So at the end of the second, the Falcons have a 1-run lead.
Sturt are in that position where they're going to be up on top of their lineup, I believe.
Yeah.
Sarah Tonkin leading off.
Yeah, first time these two teams are facing off for the year. Other results for the Falcons so far this year, they have defeated Seacombe 8-4. They've played them twice and 11-1, but they've also had good wins against Walkerville 7-2, Port 6-1, and I'm missing a game there, Glenelg 7-0. So they've got a big game coming up on Saturday. They take on West Torrens at 5 o'clock. The 3 o'clock game live here on Spacequake Sports will be between Walkerville and Seacombe. And Glenelg and the Hills Heat, Erin, have a 2-game series.
I know. I'm trying to prepare myself for a 4-game day. There'll be lots of sugar, hopefully, and a lot of sleep the night before.
Tonkin goes first pitch, chases a high ball. Sophie Kinnear gets under it, and although the footing didn't look solid there, she made no difficulty taking the catch. She's pretty happy there.
Yeah, it's really hard to track those as well, especially when it goes up that high. You start doubting yourself. It gives you a bit too much time to think about it.
It's a cheap out for Glenelg, so they'll be happy with that because it was Tonkin that had a base on balls, a stolen base, before she was driven in by Belinda White in the first inning. Jessie Keach now up to bat.
Jade's change-up is so good.
So good.
It's right spot, right speed. You can't really pick it too early, but very effective.
Pop up in foul territory, and Courtney Shepherd tried to chase it down. You heard the infield calling out Courtney, but just out of reach, and I reckon the ball fouled off to the right side. May have had a little bit of extra spin on it as well. So having the glove out in front, which she only had one choice but to do that, may have spun out of the glove. And so a chance for Keach.
Yeah, especially with Jade, the ball's moving a lot. She knows how to keep control of that ball and keep the spins moving, so especially when it comes off the bat, makes it a bit tricky to catch it.
Strikeout, and Peterson just on song tonight. Strikeout number 5.
Something we've always said even to the juniors right now, if it's close enough to be called, it's close enough to be hit, especially on that count. Really can't afford to be watching them over the plate like that.
You just got to take the decision out of the umpire's hands, don't you? Protect anything that's reasonably close to the zone. Make your 2-strike adjustment and protect. Here's Belinda White. Watches the first one. It was inside for a ball. She smashed the first one that she saw earlier tonight for a double, one bouncing into the centre field fence. Right in between the signs of our 2 major broadcast partners, MC Sportswear and CMAX Clinical Research. You cannot have a broadcast without them. And we thank them for their support. We're in our 8th season broadcasting games on Spacequake Sports, and gazillions of views over the years, and we're very pleased to be bringing softball to the lounge rooms of many Australians and internationally. The best softball broadcast in the world. David Muggleton hates it when I say that. Just missing a spot there, and we'll go ahead of the count.
Bell's last swing there, she just felt her back, middle of her back there. I wonder if she's a little bit sore from that diving catch she took at shortstop before. See how she goes with this swing.
Change of pace, just maybe came through a little high.
Oh, a bit off the plate, I thought.
That's what I thought.
Just tried to tempt her.
Full count. So payoff pitch with 2 out here in the top of the third. Peterson tries to go hard, and Belinda White drives one right side, but getting under it is Sasha Penglace for the catch. So 3 up, 3 down, and I hate to keep going back to it, but it's the difference in the game. Belinda White's first at bat, RBI double, and it's 1-0. Looked like Penglace caught it quite early. Had the hand up to show her centre fielder Horton that she's got it covered. Watch it, just there, the right hand. I got this. Eyes for the ball and takes a great catch on the CMAX replay.
Yeah, great job by Glenelg there to adjust, especially seeing as they got a run the innings before. They really managed to adjust there and not let one through. So good on them, especially with the top of the lineup, some formidable batters.
Well, after Belle White's double, Glenelg have retired 7 out of the last 8 batters. Make it 8 out of the last 9 batters. Just a solitary walk to Ashlyn Mensforth, and Jade Peterson has done the bulk of that damage now with 5 strikeouts in her 3 innings of work, and that's pretty good because Sturt are a team that do not strike out very often.
She's using the difference of pace very well, Jade. So she's just making the batters think what is coming next and then making that adjustment. And as she's got a good rise pitch coming straight after it, they're getting jammed. And so that's doing the job for her very well.
Bron Sawyer now in the box for the Rebels, and that one's called a strike to even them up and 1-1. We told you some of Sturt's results so far this year. Glenelg started the season off with a 1-1 draw. Then they defeated Hills Heat 5-0. That was your first game of the year. Erin, did you play in that game?
I did, yeah. I think I was in the outfield for that one.
Then they dropped a game to last year's premiers West Torrens 4-2. So they were 1-1 after 3 games. Then in front against, no, they were behind 5-1 and came back, scored 3 in the last inning to go down by a single run with a tying run at third against top of the table Port Adelaide and dropped that game 5-4. They've gone on a tear since then. They blanked Walkerville 3-0 and then Seacombe last weekend 7-0. So in winning form at the moment, showed plenty of fight against Port Adelaide in that or slight comeback. I was going to say come from behind, but they stayed behind for. But they were very close. They were such a chance in that game. Bron Sawyer cracks this one. It goes high and deep to centre field. Cameron backs back, takes a catch. It's the first out.
Never in doubt there from Miss Cameron.
You said she was one of your early idols or heroes or role models.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
What do you like about her?
Maddie's was quite funny when I was in under 11s, because back then obviously coaches would pitch and we'd often hit them straight back at her, so then she'd catch it and we'd have to redo them. So I have been told that we'd give her a bit of side eye whenever that would happen. So, you know, a bit of attitude from the under 11s back then.
Great to hear that one of our great players given back to the game as well as a coach. Back to the top of the order for the Rebels, and Gemma Cochran fouls her first one off and watches the second one through high and outside for a ball. I don't think Glenelg have to do too much different. They've been hitting the ball quite well. Only 1 strikeout in the first time round the order, and a couple of line drives going deep in the account for a couple of batters as well.
Yeah, I think they've just been hitting to players, really. That's the main thing. Just start hitting some gaps. Like that.
Gemma Cochran just line drives that one through to the right side and gets aboard. It's another hit for the year for Cochran, and just held her hands back very well and drove it opposite field. Kay Bevan, the former Australian player, likes that one, coaching over at first base. Almost a 9-3 chance. Left-handed Horton hits it hard back to Adams, and she's done that a fair bit this year. Starts right-handed, then second turn at bat, regardless of how successful she was. Goes to the left-handed batter's box this time. Hits it off the shins of the pitcher, Zali Adams. Hard to defend these ones.
Yeah, very hard.
It's great versatility to be able to do that in the batting box. It's very hard to do and have that good control to hit the ball, all of the ball like that back up the middle. And the end result is she's on first base.
Well, 2 runners aboard now for Courtney Shepherd. Right batter for the situation for the Rebels as one of their leaders, as we continue to talk about over the last few years in Glenelg's return to the Premier League. They only had the 1 year off, so.
She's very lucky to have Jade Peterson and Yo pitch to her this season.
Great experience, especially with those pitchers, seeing how they move the ball.
And the difference they both have.
Yeah.
You know, no 2 pitchers are the same, so should be learning a lot.
Exactly, yeah.
And a good hitters count now, 2-0 with 2 runners on. That one definitely in there for a called strike right over the heart of the plate, but good patient hitting from Shepherd to just make the pitcher work.
Zali bringing it back in there.
Yep, evening the count at 2-2. Change of pace, up and out to go to a full count. Only the 1 out, so we won't see the runners going on the pitch just yet, but outfielder's in, you would say. Maybe to protect that runner. She'll go down swinging. Great pitch from Adams, Kylie. You tracked that one well?
Yes, nice, good pitch. In difficult circumstances, you've got 2 runners on, you've got 1 out at the time, full count. That is a very hard pitch, so she's done very well to keep control of it.
Yeah, Adams' second strikeout coming at a good time for the Falcons, just to stop the momentum that the Rebels had. Penglace now will go behind the count with a called strike. That's the ability to drive the ball all the way to the fence. Swing and a miss on a change-up.
Good pitch.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Both the pitcher and the catcher to my left enjoyed that one. There's a look at the CMAX replay. Penglace hits this one to the waiting Jessie Keach at third base, plays her own bag and retires the threat of the Glenelg Rebels. So pretty entertaining softball so far. It's coming hard and fast, and it's also been pretty good action. Let's have a look at the CMAX replay.
Easy out there, did the right thing, played her own base. Limits the possibility of an error if she was to throw over to first.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about, especially at training, is don't throw the ball because that makes it more chance to make an error. So she did a perfect thing there. Textbook.
We were actually doing situation practices on Monday night, weren't we, Erin?
Yeah,
So
it was a bit scary.
I was at the third base coaching, and Erin was at third. I said, good chance for maybe a fake throw here. And she did it perfect, got the runner.
I got a little high five from Kylie for it as well, so I was pretty happy with that.
It was a very good one too.
Perfect night for softball. We've been hit with some cold Wednesday nights of late, so it's good that it's still. There's no breeze whatsoever. It's nice and warm. I haven't even put the hoodie on yet.
Oh, I've braved the hoodie. You never know at Diamond 2 though. I don't envy them. It could be a bit chilly up there.
Here's Maddie Cameron's first pitch swing. It looks like it's been hit hard. Georgia Bevan tracks it back and takes a great catch. There's Bevan on screen, an important out. The lead off. Here's the CMAX replay.
She read the ball really, really well there, Georgia. Running on the side. Yeah, good catch.
Yeah.
That's how we want to do it, Erin.
Yeah, good drop step.
We're doing a lot of outfield working as well, so that was textbook.
I've needed some outfield work, so it's been good.
Probably more in the batter's box, and those in the know wouldn't need me to introduce the person that's on the right-hand side of the screen right there. World Softball Baseball Hall of Famer, Softball Australia Hall of Famer, Softball SA Hall of Famer Alan McAuliffe, just watching by, maybe taking some notes of Acacia and Dave Borovnik, who are base umpiring tonight. I'm sure he'll provide them some great insight and feedback.
One of the
We're
best.
keeping him up. Look at him, he's having a bit of a yawn.
One of the best umpires ever. I had the privilege to pitch to him. Absolutely fantastic.
One of the all-time greats.
Yeah, you never questioned his call. Too much respect.
Strikeout, great pitch from Jade Peterson. It floated right in there for a called strike.
They're using that change-up a lot, which is really good, and it's catching them. So I feel like my philosophy, especially behind the plate, is keep throwing it until they start hitting it. So, yeah, Courtney Shepherd's doing a fantastic job behind the plate.
An even half dozen strikeouts for Peterson.
There you go.
You wouldn't have ever seen Alan McAuliffe umpire, Aaron, but I could tell you, absolute gem of an umpire, 1996 Olympian.
Yep.
Whoa.
And his brother.
John McAuliffe went to the 2000 Olympics.
Yes.
He's also a Hall of Famer. Tonkin just pokes at this one and gets one to drop in short of Horton at centre field. So we got the Falcons with a race base runner.
Yeah, right in the Bermuda Triangle, as I like to call it. Nothing comes out of there.
I like it. There's some funny names, isn't there? There's the 5-6 hole, or there's the chair, or there's the Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda
We'll
Triangle.
use it. I like it.
It's just a hard area to protect. As a field, there's nothing you can do about it.
No. Especially as like second base, shortstop, centre field, sometimes it's like you don't know who's going to get it. So communication in that area is really important, and making sure that you know who's going to take the ball. And yeah, it's just a really hard spot to get.
Shout out to Annie Finch, who was the expert at hitting those.
Zoe Adams swings at a high one. Just looks likely, doesn't she? I know we know her as a pitcher, but in her junior days, if she wasn't pitching, she would want to be playing shortstop. Always listed herself as a shortstop player, and had a few opportunities through her junior state career, but watches that one through for a cold strike. So 2 strikeouts looking for Peterson, takes it to 7 strikeouts. And really keeping the Rebels in this game defensively. Let's have a look at the reverse angle on the CMAX replay.
Fantastic pitch.
As I
Can't
said,
argue with that.
close enough to call, close enough to hit. Really should have been swinging at that one.
She knew that as well. As soon as it
Yes.
was there, she knew. There was no arguing with it.
Really got to have that mindset that you're going after every pitch.
Yeah.
And the ones are bad, then they're the ones you say no to. But the rest are all going to be yes.
Yeah.
I'm swinging for them.
Especially West Torrens, you'll notice that a lot of their players, they'll say no to pitches when they don't want to hit them rather than saying yes. So they just really have that mentality that they're going after every pitch until they're not. So that's a really good, I guess, hack.
Philosophy. Yeah, philosophy
Yeah.
have, absolutely. I agree with it. You know, my sort of rule is you don't want to be watching the second strike.
No.
You know, definitely not the third, but the second is there to be hit as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like another little rule that we have at Hills Heat is you get 2 swings for yourself and 1 for the team. So your first 2 swings, or like I guess we could say strikes, are for yourself, and then that third one is really to stay in the game and keep your team in the game.
Yep.
Over to Diamond 2 quickly. 5-1 is now the score line in favour of Port Adelaide Magpies. I'll get the pronunciation right. It's Brianna Marcelino has hit a solo home run.
Oh.
Hardline drive is how it was described in iScore. And Georgia Bevan back up to bat, leading off the second inning, in a tricky one. But Keach does the right thing and watches it go foul. Georgia Bevan will come all the way back to home.
Well left,
No
though.
sec.
Made sure it didn't go back in.
Yeah.
Picked it up once it got past the line.
I'm pretty sure that was the change-up again. So both pitchers are using that off-speed pitch. So she did a good job to try and stay with it a bit more and like wait for it, but it just went foul there.
Adams just putting a little extra on that one, but it was up and out of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Bevan. Great pitching from Adams, and That's her third strikeout. We were all just wondering if it was caught or not, but strikeout called. So out number 1 in inning number 4. Sophie Kinnear back up to bat.
Those drop balls are really hard to tell, especially because they just drop at the last second.
What's worth running?
Yes, definitely. You never know.
The catcher hasn't taken it on the full. They have to make the out to 1.
Or tag, so get running.
Yeah, challenge. Put a little bit of offensive pressure on the defense. You never know, the ball might end up in the back fence or...
What do you think of that one, Kylie?
Yeah. It looked like it was going to be a bad pitch, but
yeah,
it was very effective. Got her swinging, that's for sure.
Again.
Oh, great pitching from Adams, back-to-back strikeouts, and she's up to 4.
Great calling behind the plate there by Sarah Tonkin.
There's nothing wrong with going with the same pitch again
No,
in that
not
situation,
at all.
is there?
Not at all.
Worked the first time, good chance it might work again.
And it's super unpredictable, especially change-ups. People won't usually expect you to throw it 2 times in a row because they think you'll get a hold of it, which makes it even harder to hit in many ways.
Jade Peterson watchful for a first 2, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got a pitcher versus pitcher again here.
Just throws her hands at it and will be an easy out as Adams does the fielding off her own pitching. And another quick inning. We're tearing through the game, 45 minutes in, about halfway through, but we've completed 4. So on this pace, we'll get through 7. Here's the CMAX replay.
Easy out there.
Yeah.
A good pitch, Jade just reach for it, poke at it.
Rolled her wrists a bit and just hit it into the ground.
Well, as we've reached the halfway stage, let's do a quick review of the game so far. Sarah Tonkin led off with a walk, stole a base, and was driven in by Belinda White, a stand-up RBI double. And then from that point there, Peterson's gone on a tear, 7 strikeouts, and only given up 1 hit since, and that was a little chinker to Rachel Tonkin. And on the other side of the card, there's been 3 hits for Glenelg. 2 of them have been singles back to the pitcher, a couple of tricky ones for Zali Adams. And Gemma Cochran's line drive out to the right side, but everything that Glenelg have tried to serve up against Sturt, they've had an answer, whether it's a great catch in the outfield from Maddie Cameron or that line drive diving backhand play from Belinda White. And Zali Adams also with 4 strikeouts. So a 1-0 ball game after 4. We're at the top of the 5th, and leading things off is Ashton Mensforth. One's in there for a called strike. Erin Adams-McDonald joining us for the first time on the mic. Hills Heat catcher. This one's fouled off.
Softball and keep it thriving. So yeah, it's been amazing.
We saw a little bit on the social media about the first meeting. There was a bit of a word cloud that came up about what was discussed on the National Youth Council. I saw live stream in bold.
I put that. I raised that one. I'll give myself a little cookie for that one. So yeah, we just talk about how the things that we think are really great about softball and how we keep it thriving. And of course, I had to mention the Spacequake Sports live stream. I think it's a great way to represent softball within the community and show it on the TVs and get juniors coming through, and it's something to look forward to when you're little as well. So yeah.
I'm just making eye contact with producer Brandon over here. We didn't even pay her to say that. She said that on her own. Look at that. No, very happy with that. You'll get a welcome return for that one, I reckon. Just on the on that, the the youngsters from around the country. I say youngsters as Durham fouls this one off. What is the age of the average age of the person on the youth sports?
I'm pretty sure we have
National Youth
ages from 13 to 18, I think. And within the National Youth Council, I think we, as South Australia, have the most representatives. So I think we're at 5 with representatives. So Abby Bastion and Abby Ware, who are away at the moment for the qualifiers, they're both in it, and they are great assets to the National Youth Council and come up with some really fantastic ideas to put through.
You said 5. We know you're one of them. That's 3.
And then we've got, I think we actually have 6. Zoe Marich is in it as well. And then there's 2 other...
Josephine.
Yeah. And then...
Mac Olsen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we've got 6
Great
representing.
shot from Ollie Durham, a single out to centre field. So the youngster hitting 9 gets the ball rolling for the Falcons here in the 5th inning. Let's have a look at the CMAX replay just into your
Bermuda Triangle, our favourite. Very hard, but no, it's really, really difficult to get it there. But
Unique swing there by Ollie, just sort of got up and under it a little bit with a cricket shot.
Sometimes
it was inside a little bit, so she almost got out of the way.
Glenn Maxwell swing.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the ugliest hits make for the hardest ones to get out. So
there's that speed on show from Durham, a stolen base, and didn't even hesitate to get moving, and it's just
not afraid to slide either.
No.
A message to the competition. She's still in the under-16 age group, so what makes it 15?
Yeah.
And she just steals a base like it's there to be taken.
Yeah, fantastic player and good heads up, especially around the bases. Can be tricky, especially running from first to second. You can't really see a lot, and there's no coach telling you what to do.
Had some good cover from Tonkin. She showed Bun, and that was enough to stall Shepherd just a little. Now a runner in scoring position for the top of the order, the ever dangerous Falcons top order with just the 1 out.
This is where Sturt usually take their opportunities, isn't it? They've got a runner on, it's now in scoring position, top of the lineup. This is where Sturt will hurt you.
Oh, that one does get into the gap, but it's got to go all the way to the fence. The power of Tonkin and the speed of Tonkin. She's already turning 2. There won't be a play at 3. She's too quick. So a stand-up triple for Tonkin. Scores Ollie Durham, and Sturt busts this game open. They lead 2-0.
That's exactly what I said. This was what Sturt do. They hurt you. Right, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
And that was just a well-hit ball.
Carly's now predicting softball game. She was ready for that one.
Well run by both girls as well then. You know, Ollie's got the motor on, and Sarah nearly caught her.
Yeah, and she was ready for that as well, just in case that shortstop did pick it up and was able to tag her. So good heads up there by Ollie.
It was a hard one there for Sophie Kinnear at short.
Definitely.
Did hop at her, so...
got to watch the second hop.
Yes, especially on this diamond.
It's a bun, it's not a squeeze. As Peterson throws it over to Nicholson, but she coughs it up. Good backup from Penglace, but no one covering 2 means that Keach will make it all the way over to second, but Sarah Tonkin scores from 3rd. Let's have a look at the CMAX replay. Plenty happening. Peterson didn't look like anything wrong with the throw there. Good backup. There is the runner moving across to second. This angle will show the runner scoring.
Fantastic running here. She's seen the ball get past it straight away, ran to second. Obviously, Sarah's going to score there, but she knew there was no one at second base. She's easily there. So Sophie Kinnear's just gone the wrong way and not covered second, which left the base open, and she's just knew that she was going to get there easily on that one.
Great coaching by Justina as well. Just putting the ball into play makes it more of a risk to make an error, so they just capitalised on that and really pushed it.
So Coach Mead for Glenelg Rebels calling a timeout. Just wants to have a chat to her defence after giving up a single to Durham. She stole a base. Sarah Tonkin drove one to the fence and then just messed up a sacrifice bunt attempt. So 1 out. 2 runs have scored already in this inning, and Belinda White followed by Maddie Cameron with 1 out. Danger signs for the Rebels.
Especially with someone on 2 with Bell coming up.
Jade just try and be a little bit careful with Bell.
Pitch around her.
Yeah, like you'd even, it's probably a hard one to think, but you'd even just be very careful. Even if she gets a walk, we will create a force. But then you've got Maddie Cameron coming up, so you do have a decision. But I sort of agree, don't give her anything too nice to hit. Make her have to chase it. We're at 3-0 now, so.
That may have been the chat that Coach Brinkworth said to her team was, don't give her anything, see if you can get a cheap out, get her chasing, and an experienced pitcher herself. So, but Jade Peterson just cutting the inside edge of the plate there for a called strike. Just jams her a little bit. That one's going to drop in front of Penglace.
Holding her up there at 3.
So runners at the corners for the Falcons. Belinda White has her second hit of the game.
And Courtney Shepherd there calling time. Good opportunity to call time there with a 1-3 split. There's heaps of different plays that you can try and do and different ways to try and, I guess, trick the runners. So very good opportunity to call time.
Glenelg will probably be happy with that result because there's no runs scored. Yes, Bell's on, but she hasn't hurt them in an RBI. So we've now got a situation with 1 and 3 with Maddie up. So it'll be interesting to see where they're going to go, if they're going to go all the way over to get the out, or they're going to throw the ball to third or just hold on to it. No, here we go.
Intentional walk to load the bases to bring up Riley Moore. Well,
probably a good decision.
Well, maybe it does load the bases. There is only 1 out, but I can tell you Riley Moore is equal leader for the Falcons in RBIs this season. I know early days, but also...
She did strike out the last turn at bat, so she'll be one to have some redemption here and a good time to do it.
Yeah, still a very, very good batter.
Well, on that, Peterson has 8 strikeouts for the game. Has been a rather long inning, though, in the context, seeing her 7th batter of the inning.
It's probably another reason why Nat went out there, just to calm the situation down, just break it up a little bit, get everyone back focused.
Moore drives one up the middle. She's going to get another 2 RBIs. As Belinda White scores from 2, Cameron will stand up on second, and Riley Moore 2 RBIs for this single.
Fantastic shot by Riley Moore there. Basically exactly where you want to put it, straight down the middle, but you're still hitting behind a runner because it's got loaded bases there. So, yeah, scores 2 runs, shows you what happens.
Massive inning here from the Falcons. The undefeated Falcons, 4-0 on the season.
It's a hard decision to make, isn't it? I think they did the right thing. Yet no, it didn't pay off for them, but you know, Sturt was just too good.
Tonkin pops it up to centre field, and Sydney Horton takes a good catch. Maddie Cameron just getting a feel for what was happening out there.
Got a bit nervous there.
You thought she was in for a chance?
Yeah. She's like, oh.
Good running, actually. You know, test what Glenelg were going to do.
Yeah.
But they did the right play, got it in as quick as they could.
Threw it in front of the runner, which is really important.
Timeout called from head coach Justina Adams. Just wants a word to her pitcher, Zali Adams, who's had a couple of strikeouts. So a timely timeout, just to say, join the party, Zali. We've scored 4 in this inning. Do yourself a favour as the pitcher and bring us in another run with runners at 1 and 2. I'm sure it was similar, or words to that effect.
Yeah.
Well, the pressure's off now. They've got 5 in the bank, so that she can just go in there and enjoy it now.
Yeah, especially interesting because she's coming forward like it's going to be a slap here, so perhaps Justina told her to adjust here and just punch the ball out.
Ninth batter of the inning. And Adams was taking that one all day long. 2 balls, 1 strike. Up and out for a ball. So Adams patiently waiting.
Really interesting, especially I remember from when we played Jade Peterson, it was really obvious that she was throwing up at us a lot, so we made the adjustment to keep our eyes down. So I wonder if that's also something that Justina has spoken about to her team, to keep their eyes down.
It's after that one, and Peterson always going to be in or around the zone on that one. Goes to a 4 count. Runners will take off on the pitch. Top 5-2 out, full count, 2 on. Watches that one for a called strike. So Adams, with her 3rd strikeout of the game, will be the 3rd out of a long inning. 4 runs scored from the Falcons, and that was right down the middle.
Yeah, I don't think Sturt's going to complain about that innings. That was a pretty exciting innings for them. Got lots of runs home, so yeah.
Well, as we said, they got a sniff, got a runner on, and then they just took advantage of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been seeing from them this season so far. Every game I've seen them play is what they do, which is, you know, a great asset to have. Take your opportunities. That's what the sport's about.
9 strikeouts for Jade Peterson on the night. The 5th inning was a long one, though, and they gave up 4. So just having a bit of a chat at the moment, the Glenelg Rebels, as Sturt go through their warm-ups for the bottom half of the 5th inning. National Youth Council member joining us on the microphone tonight, Erin Adams-McDonald. We just had action in that inning, so we couldn't finish off our little chat there. So can you tell us what's coming up for the National Youth Council? Is there another meeting? What are you looking to achieve out of this council?
Yeah, so we kind of do meetings all throughout the year. So we try and do them every couple of months. I wouldn't say that it's every month, but the topics are like different every single time. They really change. So we've spoken about umpiring, and even like from a parent's perspective, going to softball, because I think that's something that we don't really talk about a lot, is how difficult it can be as a parent watching softball, especially if you've played softball when you have been a junior as well. So it can be really tricky, and also learning the new rules, because softball is a completely different game to what they played when they were playing softball. So it can be hard to adjust, I guess, to the new game. So we really wanted to cover all aspects of what softball looks like now and what softball will look like in the future.
Tate Nicholson gets a nice piece of the ball. It tips the edge of the glove of Rachel Tonkin at second. Maddie Cameron mops up in shallow centre right, and Tate Nicholson's aboard. Just what the Rebels need.
Absolutely.
Great shot. That's a fantastic shot.
Yes, it was nicely hit there on the replay there. Got all of the ball.
It's interesting that she didn't even do a full swing there if you watch. She just kind of made contact with the ball, which is what you really need to do. Make contact, see what happens, get yourself on base.
It is all about the timing, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, and that's why the change-up is such an effective pitch, because you put them off their timing.
Yeah.
Well, Erin, we're looking forward to hearing more about the National Youth Council, maybe the next time you're on the call, or after you've had your next meeting, as Sawyer fouls this one.
Got way out in front there.
But some bigger things to worry about at the moment, Year 12 exams?
Yeah, Year 12 had an exam today. I think I did all right, so got another one. I think I did all right.
The words before we started the show was it was maths and it was easy.
Oh, don't say that. Maths was pretty good, yeah, today, but next week's music Wednesday, and then I'm finished, so that'll be very exciting. More time off to do more softball. That's what I like to say.
Sawyer fouls that one. Music exam.
Exam.
What are you playing? Are you playing guitar? You're on the piano?
Well, unfortunately for me, it's all theory-based for the music exam. I've already done my solo performance, which I sing, but I don't like to tell people that because I won't be singing for anyone anytime soon here. Don't look at me like that, Kylie. But yeah, singer, but it'll all be theory-based.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get it out of her soon.
No.
Great pitching from Adams.
Yeah.
Hard and down. Very tough pitch to hit as Sawyer's the first out of the inning and Zali Adams' 5th strikeout victim. back to the top, Gemma Cochrane. She had a line drive out to the right side. Last turn up at bat. That one just up a little. Cochrane liked it. They had a swing.
Having a laugh about it. That's all you can ask for, hey?
Fouls this one off. Now, I just like to look around the diamond when I can. I can see there's been plenty of grounds work done in the batter's box from the batter. Tate Nicholson wants an extra base, but I'm afraid that was fouled. I can see that Tate leads off from the side of first base as well. So, you know, I know some of the grounds crew around here, and nothing irritates them more than having to clean up the holes that are left. You talk about that at the National Youth Council? Can you bring it up?
We don't, but I think I might be a massive contributor to those holes, so I'm going to just be quiet here for a second.
I don't see anything wrong with levelling the dirt. I just don't like them digging holes.
I will be happy to come in my spare time and fix all the holes that I make.
Great pitch again from Adams. She's just dialed it up a notch, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Well, now she's got the 5-run buffer behind her. Absolutely. You can relax your shoulders a bit more. You can have a bit more fun with the ball and try a few more things.
Yeah, interesting also. I think she's throwing a bit more up in this innings.
Yes.
So she's trying to test them to see if they're going to swing at those high pitches.
Low for a ball on Sydney Horton. Now, Sydney played for Ireland in the last World Cup qualifier that Australia played in and qualified for the World Cup. Played on AstroTurf in Ireland. She pulls this one foul. And had a couple of seasons of college softball in the States as well. So it's been on a bit of a softball journey. Plenty of opportunities around the world to play ball.
Fantastic, isn't it? Wasn't really a big thing done back in my day. We had a few people that went over to the States, but now it's actually fantastic that, you know, a lot more people are getting opportunities like that. And it doesn't have to be America, Italy, Japan, you know, it's all there. It's fantastic.
Look at Steph Trzynski gone away, travelling to Japan, like everywhere for softball. It's amazing.
This has just been to Italy.
Yeah.
So they've called this a swing.
Oh,
yeah.
That is a perfect call from umpire Borovnik. The hands were way out in front.
Yep.
So those watching from the cheap sheets need to watch themselves, I think, as Zali Adams fields this one. Horton's quick and is called safe. The speed of Horton just getting the job done, chopping the ball down into the dirt and beating it out.
Yeah, look at that. That's a great call by Acacia.
Don't often see it here enough, a chop ball like that. It makes such a difference, gives you so much time to get up the line. Well done.
Horton has 2 singles back to the pitcher in this game, both from the left-handed batter's box. Obviously wasn't happy with the screaming line drive that she hit. That was robbed by Belinda White, the second batter of, well, their first at-bat, their team's first at-bat. And she just looks like she's going to be real handy for Glenelg at the pointy end of the season. They sit third in the ladder at the moment. 3 wins, a draw and 2 losses. A plus 12 run differential as Courtney Shepherd fouls this one off.
You were just talking about the starting positions on the bases. You watch Sydney, the way she starts off the base here. She actually, just see if we can get a shot of her. She starts on front of the base and stands forward, where all the other side we stand on the side of the base. So it's just interesting, different starts for different players.
Hard hit ball, and Adams does very well. Great fielding effort, and she fires it across for the third out to deny the Rebels yet again. They had 2 runners on base earlier in the game.
Good reflex there, good reflex fielding. You don't have any time when you're fielding those ones. You've just finished the pitch, and then the ball's at you. So good reflex fielding there by Zali.
Well, just counting off the scorecard, 6 strikeouts for Adams, but Glenelg have left 6 runners on base as well, so not being able to capitalise on their opportunities. Whereas you flip it on over and up until that 5th inning, Sturt had only left 3 runners on base. So they were capitalising on their opportunities. Producer Brandon just up and around. Always makes me nervous when producer Brandon's away from his station. Erin Otis McDonald joining us on the live stream broadcast tonight. Kylie Weatherstone as well, and it's the Sturt Falcons versus the Glenelg Rebels.
Does it mean you're getting told off if he gets out of his chair?
Generally, yes, yeah, but I'm not sure if...
Who gets told off the most usually?
Anthony.
Big nods from everyone.
He's probably listening right now.
I'm sure he liked that comment.
All right, back to Sturt Falcons. Ashton Mensforth, who did lead off the last inning. They had 9 batters for the inning. They scored 4 runs, and they've blown the game open to 5-0. About 70 minutes into the game, so still 20 minutes.
And we're at the top of the 6th here, so flying through.
It does mean that the game on the backfield would be run and won. The final score, a fight back from Seacombe, 6-3 final. Brianna Marcelino hit the home run. She had 2 hits for the game. Montana Edwards had 2 RBIs for Port Adelaide. Jess Maz and McKenna Smith also had RBIs. Swing and a miss. So Jade Peterson makes quick work of Ashton Mensforth. Had a good walk her first plate appearance, but Peterson, the veteran, has fired back with striking her out her last 2 plate appearances.
How many strikeouts is that now, James?
We're up to 10, double digits.
Double
for
digits.
Peterson. Regan Diaz did the pitching for Seacombe tonight. Hits few and far between. Bree Lint had 1 with with 2 RBIs, and Regan Diaz had 2 hits, including a home run. So 2 home runs hit tonight. Interesting to see the play-by-play to see if that was a in the Parker or out of the diamond, because she's got the speed to do it in the Parker, but she also got the power to hit one out. We saw that in her first plate appearance. Hits a hard fly ball for a home run. So 2 home runs in her Premier League season. Matches her career home runs in college. In her 4-year college career.
There you go. No.
And they play with shorter fences as well, 200-foot fences.
Okay. So, yeah, 220. Is it 220 over there?
229 over here at West Beach. 229 and a half. You know who told me that? Alan McCall. Anyway, Ollie Durham is the... we were talking about him before.
Yeah, we were.
Because I said to him, 230-foot fences. He said, it's 229 and a half. I said, okay, you say so.
Got to be specific here. You have to get it completely correct, or otherwise it's wrong.
He's an umpire.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
always specific.
Can't be wrong.
Peterson, another strikeout. Strikeout 11 in the 6th inning, but we go back to the top of the order, and the Falcons will now see Peterson for a 4th time through the lineup, and that is in there for a called strike. 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a pretty impressive game for Jade already. What do you think, Kylie?
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Any game. 11 strikeouts is definitely, and you're losing 5-0. So, yeah, fantastic from Jade.
Just shows how crazy softball is.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the roles of the commentators is to help pick the CMAX player of the game.
Oh.
5-0 down. Let's say the scores remain the same. Can you give a vote to the pitcher who's thrown 11 strikeouts, or is it mostly to the batting team that have put 5 on the board?
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting because oftentimes I think, well, that's a great hit.
Shot, hard hit, and a great catch from Georgia Bevan. Looked like she'd tracked it well, and then the spin of the ball was taking it to the left field line, so she had to change direction. Camera's still on her. Here's the CMAX replay. You watch her change direction to take this catch, just throws the glove out there. Wow. Fantastic catch from Georgia Bevan.
I think that's one for the highlight reel at the end of the season.
Okay, you're getting the all clear from producer Brandon on that one.
I'll give producer Brandon the stare. I got a peace sign, I think, so we're all good.
Denying the Falcons in the 6th inning.
That's a fantastic catch.
Well, maybe a little bit of momentum for the Rebels. It's just what they need going into the bottom of the 6th. And as we turn the card over, they're up to their 4-hitter Penglay. So if they want to get around back to the top of the order, they need to have a big inning here. Maybe score 1 or 2 to peg that lead back a little, and then maybe chase them down. Kylie, have you been keeping an eye on the social media?
A little bit there. I've just had a message here, actually. Someone's asked me to say hi to Sky, who's one of the under 14 and under 16 representatives for South Australia. She's actually in Port Pirie. So I hope you're going well, Sky, and I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow night at training or maybe Sunday. So we'll see you then. And I think we just lost it on my page.
First pitch swinging, Sasha Penglay, it goes foul. We can reset and she'll take another look. We always like to give a bit of a shout out when we can in the innings break. Most of the time, Erin, for those people who watch, have you watched the live stream for the full 8 years it's been on? Or
Yeah, I love the live stream. I often go to sleep to it because I'm the type of person that can't really go to sleep without any noise, which I think might be due to the fact that I'm also known as quite a noisy person. So, you know, I love keeping the softball on as I go to sleep. So I'll often wake up and then all of a sudden I'll just be on my laptop screen and it'll be a bit confronting, but you know.
Is that your own games that you're listening back to? Or,
No.
do you have a favourite commentator that you like to go to sleep to?
Well, I have to say you, James, don't I? Because you're sitting right next to me. That would just be bad if I didn't say you. No, I just love watching, especially the games back when it first started. I think it's really cool to see how far softball's come and just the changes that it's gone through. And, yeah, Space Quake just do an amazing job at showing softball and
Two-time Antenna Award-winning Space Quake
Yeah.
Sports.
Throw that one in.
Oh, Penglay to avoid one that was down and in, and pretty good. If Damien McCauley likes it, it must be their level 8 umpire's been to a few men's world championships as well as countless national championships.
Yeah.
Georgia Bevan back in the box, drives the first pitch out to the right side. It's the second batter of the inning, so there's one out. Georgia Bevan aboard. She's had a pretty good game. She had a base on balls, her first plate appearance, and that screamer of a catch to end the last inning.
Yeah, that's a fantastic hit. A bit hard for Rachel Tonkin there to grab, seeing as it was nuked all the way to right field. So, you know, gets a bit hard, but Ollie did a really great job of grabbing it and then getting it back in, even if the out wasn't made there. So, yeah, good work by all teams.
Nuked, Kylie.
Nuked.
Word, yep.
Bermuda Triangle. And
I'm keeping Space Quake Sport live stream young.
I love it.
You're saying we're not young?
No, not at all. Wise. Is that the right word?
Or you're getting there.
Well, Erin, you've absolutely done what I thought you might do, and that is just brought an absolute new look to the Space Quake Sports broadcast. You're insightful, you're knowledgeable, you're pretty funny, you've got good taste in commentators, and we will definitely have you back.
Good taste in commentators.
Yeah. Base on balls for Sophie Kinnear. Good at bat because 2 runners aboard now, and Jade Peterson, the veteran, up to bat. Belinda White comes in to have a chat to her pitcher, Zali Adams. Erin will be back on the broadcast in about a week's
Yeah,
time.
next week I will be.
Yeah, we've done the schedule for the rest of the month, and I'll. It's great to have you aboard. So thanks for joining us and joining the team.
Yeah.
It's good to have 3 youngsters on the call. Kylie, myself.
Thanks, James. I'll take that. I would have loved to have had Space Quakes around in my day.
Yeah.
The likes of, teams that I played for, it would have been fantastic to have that sort of, history recorded and something I could go back and watch.
Exactly. I think that's something we also take for granted a lot, is the fact that it's so easy to go back and watch exactly what you've done as well as a player. So it's really good to be able to recall on your at-bats and be able to go through them and really kind of analyse what you've done within your at-bats and see how you can improve. So that's a really, really helpful part of our live stream.
Peterson pulls this one foul. It's great to hear because 8 years ago when I was first introduced to David Muggleton and we talked about live streaming softball and just putting it in front of people, and he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to deliver you a product that, you can use as a tool and TV quality product as well, which, I didn't even know in my wildest dreams would be able to happen. And here we are 8 years later. We've been in South Australian Community TV on Channel 44, who've supported us from the start, NITV for 5 seasons and 2 antenna awards, over 8 million video views on Facebook alone, later, and, Denzo series, some national championships, and hit by pitch. It's gone across the letters, and it'll load the bases as Jade Peterson. Is she clutching her hands?
No. She's not.
Oh.
Just keep going, James.
Loaded bases, CMAX replay, and that one's also clipped the helmet of the catcher, Sarah Tonkin.
That would not have been very comfortable.
We don't have to see that replay again. Thanks, Brandon. And loaded bases, timeout called. So just making sure everyone is okay. And with one out, they've brought in a pinch runner. That's Nalia. Nalia Rigby's come in to pinch run for Jade Peterson.
Yeah, just give her a second just to calm down from being hit there.
Yeah, especially if she's going to have to go back out and pitch again. You definitely want that time to reassess and get some ice sometimes.
Tate Nicholson has had a couple of good pieces of the ball. Zali Adams did well to field the first one, and then a nice shot out to centre field for a hit. So loaded bases. Here is the Rebels' big chance with just the one out. Hard hit to the right side behind the runners, Kylie, as Bevan scores. Sophie Kinnear safely to third, so it's still loaded bases as Nicholson breaks the duck egg, and we've got a 5-1 ball game.
Yeah, fantastic job by Tate Nicholson there. It's what you want. You want to start getting a rally in this situation, especially after their really good fielding innings. It's the time to start fighting back. So she's done that at a perfect time.
Bron Sawyer this time drives it into the alley to the right side, which means that Cameron has to turn to throw, misses the cutoffs, and Zali Adams just fetches that one from foul territory. Bron Sawyer stands up at 2, a 2-run shot. We've got a 5-3 ball game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, starting that rally. It only starts from one hit. I think we can all know that is sometimes all it takes is one person getting on base, and then all of a sudden you're back in the game, and then you get it started.
One out and back to the top of the order. There's Rigby, who scores all the way from second. Back-to-back hits from the 8-9 hitters. Nicholson's got 2, 3 hits from the bottom 2 hitters.
Yeah, fantastic. And runners on 2 and 3 here, so still in a really high-scoring position.
6th inning of work for Adams.
And tying run on 2 there.
Great point. Tying run on 2 is very important, seeing as that we're about 84 minutes. So you'd think this is going to be it. So they're going to make the run. It's got to be now. High and a shake of the head from Gemma Cochran. Good eyes as she's behind the count. 0-2 now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at 2 and 3. Change up and out.
Isn't softball great? You can change a whole game on 2 hits like that.
Yeah.
And we're now in a tense situation where we could be a draw at the minute. Like,
Yeah,
fantastic.
5-1 down going into the last
Yeah.
inning against Port Adelaide just a couple of weeks ago. They got it back to 5-4 with the tying run on 3. Gemma Cochrane watches that one for a called strike. So she's had a mixed bag tonight. And that is strikeout number 8 for Zali Adams tonight.
Still 2 down here, though, so they still have an opportunity to score those runs. So it's really important here to keep them in the game.
Sydney,
Cochrane didn't think that was a strike, but it did look like it was a nice height.
Sydney Horton up to bat, line drive to 6,
Yeah.
2 infield singles. She moves back to the right-handed batter's box. Tying run is on 2, so she doesn't really matter for the defensive side. Worth putting her on. As Sturt Falcons are going to have a think about it. It does bring up Courtney Shepherd. The timeout will ensure that this will be the last inning.
It also creates the force. Which
And,
then you get an out
and she doesn't
any base.
count. And she's a dangerous hitter. Looks like they're going to back their
Wow.
team.
Interesting.
1 ball is the count. 2 on, 2 out.
Oh!
Hit by pitch. That's the second hit by pitch of the inning. It will load the bases and bring up the 9th batter of the inning.
I felt that for her, I won't lie. Those ones always hurt.
Well, what's interesting is that they called a timeout and then she was hit by pitch the next one. I'm not suggesting that it was done deliberately. Let's have a look here. She's hit in the front, right in the ankle.
No time to move, especially at that pace.
No,
Oh, that would hurt.
that would hurt a lot.
She's trying to walk it off. The Falcons players are all back in their position with Courtney Shepherd in the box, ready to go, but I'm not sure Horton is ready to go. Sawyer on 2. Nicholson on 3. Tying run is at 2. Winning run is on 1. Well, that proves what I was saying wrong. She is imported. She's the go-ahead run over on first base. Shepherd, ground ball. It goes to White. Sawyer was waiting, but with 2 out, she fires it across. She only needs the out at 1, and that will be the ball game. And Sturt Falcons get themselves out of a jam, but not before the Glenelg Rebels make a last-minute run yet again. Falcons will remain undefeated with a final score of 5-3. Here is the last play on the CMAX replay.
Yeah, fantastic job by Belle there. You can just see her tracking that ball on the ground. That skid on the dirt is always hard to track, so she did a really good job of getting it. I think it just, hit the top bit of her glove, so way to hang on to that there and got the out. So yeah, good job on Sturt winning, but also fantastic work for Glenelg to come back there in that last dig.
Well, here's a bit of a wrap of the game highlights. Belinda White got the game going with a stand-up double scoring Sarah Tonkin from second base, and it was a defensive procession from both sides. Zali Adams ended the game with 8 strikeouts, and Jade Peterson had 11. There's one of the strikeouts on screen.
Yeah. I think you were talking before about the player of the game, James. I think it's really interesting, like I was saying before, is sometimes the score of softball doesn't actually match the game and it doesn't reflect the game. So yeah, I think for me, my player of the game would probably be Jade with her strikeouts. It's just really impressive turn in the mound there.
Yes, well, I actually have a slightly different view. Normally I would say yes, she's a pitcher, so yes, I agree. But
Kylie's biased.
I actually can't go past Belle White.
Yeah.
I think that diving catch that we just saw there on the replay for was fantastic. I think she's gone a couple more hits as well. Just her command in the field and the batting boxes, she probably gets my vote for tonight.
Yeah, story of the night was the comeback from Glenelg. They just fell short again. They've dropped another close one, so their 3 losses for the year have been a combined score of 5. So they're always in the contest, and as we said at the top of the show, a much improved team of the season. That'll do it for the highlights. So we'll wrap it up now. It was the Sturt Falcons beating the Glenelg Rebels 5-3. The other game tonight, Port Adelaide defeated Seacombe. We do very much look forward to your company this Saturday for the Walkerville versus Seacombe game. It'll be a new commentating crew, but we want to thank very much tonight Kylie Weatherstone for your expert commentary and making her commentary debut. Not that you would have known it because she did a terrific job, Erin Adams-McDonald. Any final comments?
No, that was just a really great game. And thanks, James.
No worries. Well, if you are watching this as you go to bed tonight, thank you to Spacequake Sports for doing a record of the show so we can watch it back uninterrupted. We were troubled by the Optus outage a little bit, so thank everyone for your patience if you're watching it live, and we can't wait to bring you all the live softball action again this Saturday at 3 p.m.